This is Mark Bell from supertraining.tv, Super Training Gym, the strongest gym in the West, answering more questions today for the Power Project. Got a question today from Samson off of YouTube in regards to my comments on athletes should wear powerlifting gear, which caused quite a stir. I actually had a couple people say that they think powerlifting gear is ruining. They think powerlifting gear is ruining powerlifting. But you lost focus of what I'm saying. Whether you think that's true or not, you should still be wearing powerlifting gear in training. It should still be a training tool, just like a belt or a wrist wrap or people using chalk for gymnastics or any of that other kind of stuff that helps improve. Look at the gymnastics that went on in the Olympics this year. Do you think they're gonna do a floor routine without that doesn't have a springy floor? They get killed. They're gonna suck. What about tennis? What about the advancements in that sport of the different shoes and the different courts that they play on? And good luck trying to use a tennis racket from the 50s against people that are using tennis rackets of today. You'd get slaughtered. Same with bicycles. Same with pole vaults. Every sport is improving. Every sport is advancing in some way. And whether you think that powerlifting should have powerlifting gear or not, that is your opinion. You're totally entitled to it. And I actually understand where you're coming from. Powerlifting gear in some ways, can give people the wrong impression. They think that it's cheating and so on. But as I said before, it should still be a tool that you use in training. Maybe you don't use it all the time, but it's going to allow you to overload your body. It's going to allow you to train through injuries. It's going to allow you to, it's going to help with injury prevention, and it's going to help you recover from workouts. It's going to help you handle a lot more weight a lot safer. The goal is to get stronger. The goal is to lift more weight. And if you can get your body under 100 pounds more simply by putting on a pair of shorts, then you should do it. I know that some of you don't know what I'm talking about, and some of you out there have not been in powerlifting gear before. But those of you who have not been in powerlifting gear before can't really comment the way that I can. I've been in powerlifting gear before. I know what it feels like, and I'm telling you now, it feels awesome. And it's going to give you a good boost, but it's not going to take so much away from you that you won't get stronger and that you won't improve. What you're going to find when you take the powerlifting gear off, that your form is improved and that you are stronger. So I'm not saying that you need to wear it nonstop and wear it all the time, but athletes, football players, any sport where explosive power is needed, then you should be wearing powerlifting gear. On that same topic, if you're doing a sport and you need to be explosive and strong, make sure that you're freaking powerlifting. You got to do some powerlifting movements in there. You don't have to be a full-on powerlifter or anything, but you got to squat, you got to bench, you got to deadlift, you got to do overhead presses, you got to do bent over rows, you got to do all the old school shit that'll make your body strong. So to answer this question from Samson off of YouTube, he wants to know, which type of gear do I recommend? Inzer.net has something called Power Pants. Those would be very easy to adapt to, or you can look into some of their single ply squat suits. They're a little bit more expensive, but they're actually easier to get on because it's kind of got a handle, because it's got a strap that you put over your shoulder, and then you can hang from racks and different things like that to help slide it on, to help slide it up. You're also going to want to look into getting some sort of spandex. I wear Under Armour. I wear 2XU gear underneath my powerlifting gear to help me slide the gear up, and then also it helps prevent all this pinching and stuff like that kind of happens to your skin when you're in some of that stuff. But this guy says he's seen, Nike Pro Combat and Under Armour, and he's kind of wondering if you should be wearing that stuff. Only underneath the suit would you want to wear some of that stuff, because that stuff doesn't do anything. These big companies, they don't understand about true compression yet. None of them have an understanding of the type of compression that's necessary to actually improve performance. You can put people in any of the gear that's out there currently, in any of the compression gear that's out there currently, and you're not going to see much, if any at all, improvement in their sprinting power and their jumping power and those kinds of things. But with powerlifting gear, when you put powerlifting gear, it's undeniable that it'll allow you to lift more. It'll allow you to outperform what you can normally do without it. Also, I've seen people jump in powerlifting briefs before and reach new heights. So it's a little dangerous to try to jump onto a box that way, because it's hard to bring your feet back up. But if you get a passive, loose, stretchy type material, then you're going to be able to bring your knees back up, and you would be able to do box jumps. Anyway, the point is, powerlifting gear is going to allow you to handle more weight. You guys should be wearing it. I'm trying to make sure I answered everything. Oh, and he wants to know, can some briefs be worn under shorts? Of course they can. Especially the power pants from Inzer, or even the suit. You could throw a pair of shorts over top. I understand what you're talking about, because if you're in a commercial gym, or if you're in a gym where it's got other people around, kind of embarrassing to be walking around in some nut huggers. So you don't want to look like you're trying to snuggle a banana and 2 oranges around the gym. You can easily throw a pair of shorts over top, and we've had guys do that in our gym, and they get laughed at because it's part of our culture in powerlifting, just to be comfortable wearing all this ridiculous shit. The last thing would be, just please make sure that you don't get anything that's too tight. I'm not looking for you guys to handle huge weights, up and beyond what you can normally handle. If you can get a 50 to 70 pound boost, that would be plenty. We're not looking to get 150 or 200 pounds out of a pair of briefs. That's not really what I'm talking about. If you're a power lifter, that's a totally different situation, and you should be trying to get the most aggressive, best stuff that you can possibly handle. But for those of you out there that aren't unfamiliar with powerlifting briefs and unfamiliar with Raw and all this stuff, Raw means to not wear any powerlifting gear at all. But even within Raw, there's a bunch of bullshit going on. There's guys that say, Raw is Raw and then you shouldn't wear anything. And there's other federations and other people that will say, well, you can wear a lifting belt and you can wear wrist wraps. And other ones will say, well, you can only wear, you can only wear a belt with no wraps and blah, 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 blah. It's all retarded bullshit. In my opinion, if it's going to be Raw, you should be able to wear knee wraps and wrist wraps and a belt. Really, if you're going to be Raw, you wouldn't really wear anything at all. But nobody's going to do that. So if you're going to allow a belt, then you got to allow wrist wraps and knee wraps, in my opinion. It's just a safety issue to a certain point, just like the monolift. People always want to make a big deal about, oh man, and he walked the weight out too. Well, that's stupid. You don't have to anymore. There's the invention of the monolift, and there's a reason for it. You don't have to walk around with 800, 900, 1,000 pounds on your back anymore, because there's the invention of the monolift. Every sport makes its advancements. You just have to accept it. And that is it from supertraining.tv. Later.